Hello, one and all. Welcome back to another edition of the Average Guy's Guide to Life podcast. There we go. Oh, make sure my lighting's right. You know who I am. You know what this is. You bitch, you little lovable bitch, you little piece of shit, you little cute, adorable piece of shit, you. How are you? Hopefully, everything is going well at your end of the spectrum, your piece of the world, your little corner of the pie. Hopefully, everything is going good with you. I am looking dingy, and this is not by accident. If you could see me now, I am wearing a very discolored red shirt. It's supposed to be red. It's red in some places. It's dark red in other places. But this is only to signify um, a subject that I'm going to be getting into a little later. This shirt represents a period of my life that was a teaching moment, and it's something that you go through. You go through those things where when you're going through it, it's a living hell. But when you get on the other side of it, you grow to appreciate it. Um, this is what this shirt signifies for me, and it's barely a shirt at this point. This is probably one of the best looking shirts I got from this place. Um, it's the newer version of the shirt, but mind you, I still have holes there, if you could see them. So it's in good condition only because I didn't wear it for very long. I have previous shirts that I got from this place that were blue and ended up looking brown and didn't have sleeves at all. And I didn't cut them. I didn't cut the sleeves, they just fell off. Had a black shirt that looked kind of grayish brown by the time I was done with it. And it was due to me working. It was due to me working in the shirt. But like I said, I'm going to get to that later. First, I want to share a little accomplishment with you. I want to pat myself right on the back there. Why? Because I did something that I didn't think I would be able to do that was haunting my dreams. I guess that would be a nightmare, right? That would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? If your dreams were haunted, it's no longer a dream, it's a nightmare. So I had nightmares. Not literal nightmares, I'm just exaggerating for the sake of dramatics on this podcast. But there was something that I didn't think I would be able to do that I actually accomplished over the weekend. Now, how many of you guys are familiar with the Nintendo and Super Nintendo game consoles? Anyone in my age range would remember being a kid. I wasn't an adult playing these games or a teenager. I was a little pee-wee, teeny tiny era. I was a baby. I was a baby. Well, not a baby. I wasn't in Pampers, but I was a kid. I was a really young kid. From maybe we had our Super Nintendo when I was about 6 or 7, 5 through 7. I'm gonna say it's when we had our Nintendo to Super Nintendo consoles, and I am a gamer, right? Shout out to all my gamers out there. I am a gamer, and I was introduced to gaming by my aunt. And my aunt, she had everything. She had a Nintendo, she had a Super Nintendo, she had a Game Boy. The Game Boy that was a brick, you know, it was like this fucking thick. You could hit someone over the head with it and kill them. So she had that thing. And we had, me and my brothers, we had the regular Nintendo. Um, and we had a collection of games. We had a pretty good collection of games now that I'm recalling it. We had the original Donkey Kong. We had Mario Bros. When it was the Versus game, and then we had Super Mario Bros., which came with the Duck Hunt package. Um, and the cartridges were about this fucking big ass cartridges. You used to blow in them. I'm not even sure if that was effective, but that's what we did. Me and my brothers also got the bright idea to put the cartridges in the freezer, and maybe that would fix them. You know, we're engineers. We're gaming engineers. Little children, we know better. We can fix these cartridges. Um, but there was one game. There was actually a couple of games. Um, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, I believe, when they introduced the multiplayer, when it was 4 players could play at once. You know, that shit was like game changing. When you could have 4 players play at the same time, and coincidentally enough, it's me and I have 3 brothers, so all 4 of us could play at the same time. And of course, that would make me be Donatello. I was the smart guy, but also everybody thought Donatello was lame. But I'd be kicking ass with Donatello and that fucking stick, you know, just going ham with that stick. But TMNT was easy because I had my brothers to count on me. If I would lose my life, which I did, I was an idiot. My brain was basically mashed potatoes. I was 6. So, you know, but still, I could use my brothers to just pull me through a situation and get me through a level of a game. But the game that is a single player that we used to take turns playing, and kids won't understand this today. You used to have to take turns playing kids game. Damn, I'm dyslexic. I can't speak English. Playing kids game? You used to have to take turns playing kids game. We used to have to take turns playing the game as kids. Now there's just so much accessibility to video games. There's no such thing as having to take a turn anymore. You know, if you and your sibling, you share a console, what the fuck? Like, you're gonna get your turn if it's a single player game, and I'm just gonna go to a tablet, or I'm gonna go to my phone, or I'm gonna go to another game, another game console. Like maybe it's an Xbox and I have a fucking PS4. So back then you couldn't do that. If you were taking turns playing a video game, you seriously had to sit there and wait for it to be your turn again. You couldn't do anything. It's either you watch this person play the game, praying in your soul that they die quickly. Like, you just want them to die out. You're rooting for them to fail, although you should be rooting for them to succeed so you could learn and see how they beat it. But no, fuck you. I want to be the one who beat this shit, not you. So I'm rooting for you to fail. While I'm doing this, I'm silently rooting in my soul, die, 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 die. Like my little 6-year-old brain is just praying for someone to die. In this game in particular, it was very easy to die in if you didn't know what the fuck you were doing. If you didn't know the controls. If you didn't know the strategy. And I'm 6, so of course I didn't know any of this shit. I guess that's enough build up. The game was Ninja Gaiden 1. And for all of my gamers out there, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Ninja Gaiden 1. If you were a kid playing it, if you were lucky enough, you could make it through the first level. If you were lucky enough. But you definitely ran through a few lives trying to get through that first level. And I wasn't lucky enough. I was an idiot. I was an idiot of a 6-year-old kid. I didn't know what the fuck strategy was. I didn't know what the fuck a ninja or a Gaiden was. All I know is some guy with a mask and some sweat and a sweatsuit with a sword, and I just wanted to go slice people and make them explode. It's crazy. Like, think about this. On Ninja Gaiden 1, when you sliced the person, they didn't kill over. You know, they could have animated that. When you sliced a person swinging a little baseball bat on Ninja Gaiden 1, that person exploded. Like, they just popped like a fucking balloon. Anyway, so I have never made it through the first level of that game. When I was a kid, my brothers used to let me go first because they knew I would be the quickest to die. Yeah. And I was. I never disappointed. I was always the first to die playing Ninja Gaiden. I never knew how to jump on the walls and make them stick. And my brothers would just laugh at my expense like, ha, look at this dumb kid. Look at this dumb little fucking 6-year-old piece of shit. Watch, he's gonna die. And he's gonna get mad that he's dead, and he's gonna walk out of the room and start playing with his Legos. Look at this Lego playing motherfucker. What a loser. What a fucking 6-year-old loser. I was a 6-year-old loser. I wasn't trying to learn. I wasn't trying to adapt and to learn what the fucking strategy was and to learn I wasn't even trying to learn what the fucking buttons meant. And there wasn't even that many buttons back then. It was like 4 buttons. There's 4 fucking buttons. I mean, how dumb was I? But this weekend, I conquered that. And I made it officially to the 2nd level of Ninja Gaiden 1. Officially. I've never seen this level before. I am a grown adult, and I am proud of this accomplishment. Like when my brothers made it past, I did sit and watch them play it. You know, once I died, I literally got up and left. You know, I got other shit to do. I can play with my little fucking Hot Wheels cars. I can play with my fucking army men, bitch. I don't give a shit about your accomplishment and how you were able to beat this game. Go fuck yourself. You know. But I saw it, and it was pixelated, and just like the previous level. Like, if you're not a gamer, you probably won't understand. It's one of those things where if you're immersed in a game, it's your goal to try and beat it no matter what. No matter how many times you rage quit, no matter how many times you die, no matter how many times you give up and try and play another game, you know that you need to go back and beat that fucking level. You need to go back and beat that fucking game. And it's over and over and over. And when you finally do it, it's like a grand release. It's like the closest thing to an orgasm that you can get. It's like you came. You fucking came. You know? You just splattered all over the place. And you just got this release. You know? This giant release. And you can just let it all out of you. It's a great feeling. It's a great fucking feeling. You know, I don't game as much as I used to because I'm an adult and I have fucking responsibilities and shit. I don't have any children. I got Rick back here, but he's older than me. But that release of beating a game, it's still something that I think everyone should experience. I had that experience a little while back when I was playing Little Big Planet 3 with my girl, who doesn't have very much experience in playing video games at all. But I taught her the controls, and you know, we walked through it, and she died a lot of fucking times. And her dying a lot of fucking times killed me a lot of fucking times. Because if you don't know Little Big Planet 3, you can get a person killed if you're playing multiplayer in the fucking story mode. If you let a person lead, right? If you're leading through the scroller and you expect this person to make the right move and you're following their move, they can jump into a fucking pit of lava and you jump right into the same pit because you thought they timed that jump right. And you end up dying because you followed their dumbass. And next thing you know, you have to start the whole fucking level over again. And another thing is specifically for Little Big Planet, you can grab a person and drag them to do shit. And my girl, she didn't know how the fucking grab and drag function worked. So when she would be close to death, she would panic. In a panic, she's just pressing any button. She's just smashing the buttons trying to get out of this situation that she's in, knowing that it's inevitable. You're going to die. But instead of just dying with dignity, she took me with her just by mashing buttons, and I'd be drugged down in the fucking lava pit with her. Numerous times, people. I'm telling you, this happened so many times. It took us like twice as much as normal as it would take a normal person to complete this game. But I am not sad about that. I'm actually happy about that because we had the experience of playing this game together, and we had the experience of beating this game together. That grand release I'm talking about. It's a fantastic feeling. And I got that feeling this weekend when I finally, after decades, made it to the second level of Ninja Gaiden 1. Am I going to finish playing this game? Probably not. I've seen all I need to see. But felt good. It really felt good. Yeah, I want to know if you guys are gamers like me. I'm a game guy. I've had damn near every system except for anything made by Xbox. I don't know. I'm not biased. I'm not biased. It's just the first next gen console that I got was a PlayStation, and I got used to the controls of the PlayStation, so I didn't need an Xbox. The PlayStation controls just felt natural to me. Anyway, let me know down in the comments. Oh, while I am saying comments and shit, make sure you subscribe, people. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like and share and comment and ring the bell. Do all that shit. Maybe one of these days I'll show up when the fucking COVID is over. I'll bake you a pie. I'll make you some coffee. I'll fucking, sleep with you. It'll be great. It'll be fucking great unless you don't want any of that. Then it'll be kind of weird. Either way, fucking subscribe. Who don't want pie and sex? I want pie and sex. Anyway, now to the story about this shirt. Okay? Now, people don't know what hard work is. And I am going to generalize, motherfucker. Because I'm American. I can generalize. It's freedom of speech. But I believe not enough people know what hard work is. Like real hard work. If you work in an office and you're swamped with paperwork and emails and phone calls and meetings and maybe you have to fly to another state or province to finish your work, you may think that's hard work, right? Sorry about that. You may think that's hard work. And on some level, it is. It's hard work for someone who is doing, white collar work. It's hard work. But then there's the real hard work where for 8 to 12 hours a day, hold on, let me fix this lighting real quick. Oh no, I made it worse. Oh no, I made it even worse. Okay, there we go. For 8 to 12 hours a day, you're on your feet, moving around, picking things up, putting things down, and covered in fucking dirt. Construction workers qualify, landscapers qualify, sanitation workers, garbage people, they all qualify. For a period in my life, I qualified as one of those real hard workers. That's why I ran through so many of these shirts, and this one currently has a hole under it. I worked at a company where I was only there because I was 100% committed to my music aspirations. I didn't care about money. I didn't care about prestige. I didn't care about reputation. I didn't care about any of that. I just wanted to make enough money so that I could finance my musical aspirations. That's it. That's it. I wasn't even applying for any other jobs while I was there. Now that I'm looking back in hindsight, maybe I fucking should have, because there's no reason I couldn't have done both and just said, fuck it, maybe I'm just going to miss out on some sleep or something. But fuck, what the fuck was I doing? This place where I worked was a warehouse, right? And if you guys don't know, if you've never been inside a warehouse, I can't describe it to you. It is a building, but it's barely a building. If you have a good warehouse, maybe your building is newer. But the building I was in was barely a fucking building. It had fucking leaks in the ceiling. When it rained, it literally rained inside. The windows were cracked. Some of the windows were replaced. Some of them weren't. Some of the windows weren't even windows. They were just like little thin pieces of construction paper. You had rows and rows and rows and rows of shelving with our merchandise on it. And this was a gigantic warehouse. And the boxes were sometimes moldy. The boxes sometimes weren't boxes. They were falling apart. Everything was covered in dust and dirt, especially if you were going through something that hadn't been touched in years. In years. It would be like you were digging up a fucking Egyptian tomb. It was some horrendous shit. And you're doing all of this. You're manually moving. There are no forklifts. You do not have any sort of motor vehicle piece of machinery that's taking you from one long end to the warehouse all the way to the other end. There's no such thing. You're on foot doing all of this shit. And I had the job of an entire department. Now, when I was first hired, I was just a regular warehouse picker, right? When you're a picker, all you do is go through the warehouse. You get a manual pallet jack. If you don't know what a manual pallet jack is, just imagine a dolly, but that's split like a fork, right? And you put a piece of wood under it. It's a pallet, and you jack it up so that the pallet is elevated off the ground, and you drag that thing around with you all day. And you put the merchandise from organized shelving units on your pallet jack, and you place it in wherever it goes in the warehouse, or maybe it's going out to a store, or maybe it's going out to the customer. So you're literally doing that all fucking day, right? No forklifts, manual pallet jack. And it doesn't matter where your merchandise is, and it doesn't matter how many items you need, and it doesn't matter how fucking heavy it is. You have a time limit to do this shit. That's it. If you have 15 items to pick, you have 30 minutes. That's it. You get 2 minutes per item. Even if all of your items are all the way up at the top, and each one weighs 50 pounds. Maybe each one they don't weigh 50 pounds. Maybe each one you have to count, and they're about this fucking small. And you have to count, 1,100 of them. But still, you got half an hour. Get it done. That's what I did when I first started there. But I did that so fucking good. I was a badass. I was fucking moving around getting that shit done. They gave me a promotion. Now the promotion that I got, I was in charge of a department. Now usually when you're in charge of a department, you get subordinates, so people that would help you out, people that are assigned subordinates. Not I. I was the department, damn it. And the department in which I was in charge of happened to have some of the biggest and heaviest merchandise. I mean telescopes. Big, giant fucking telescopes that were as long as your body that you would have to lug on your fucking shoulder and just move around the fucking warehouse. And not only that, I also had to go and get our deliveries at our dock. I had just me, no subordinates. Whenever UPS came, whenever FedEx came, or whenever a third-party carrier came to our dock with an undescript amount of skids, pallets, I would have to go to the dock and take them off the truck by myself. Just pull them off with my manual pallet jack. Didn't even matter how heavy the fucking skids were. I can get a fucking 8-foot-high skid of nothing but telescopes that weigh 2,500 pounds. I had to jack that motherfucker up, move it off the truck, account for the inventory myself, count it, sign for it, and then drag it back to my department, take it off the skid, count it again, log it into our inventory system, put it back on the skid, and then drag it away. I did this job for 4 years. So whenever someone complains to me in my current small office situation, I don't speak it out loud, but I kind of laugh in the back of my head like, you're complaining about this? Like you're complaining about getting too many emails? You're complaining about, having to work through your lunch break? You don't really know what hard work is, do you? There were times at my old job that we deemed the dark days. The dark days. Why were they the dark days, you may say? Because it was mandatory overtime where we had to come in an hour early and stay an hour late. So we never got to see the sun. It was during early winter, late fall. So we would get there at around 5:30 and we would leave at around 5:30. The fucking dark days. And there was barely any fucking lighting in the warehouse before, the city complained and had the fucking warehouse put in new lights. Before that happened, the lights were from the fucking 1970s. We couldn't see shit. But we still had to do the same amount of work. Okay, you drop a fucking magnet on your head, that's your fault. The fucking dark days. And the reason that we had to do that during that time period was because we were setting up for our warehouse sale. And the warehouse sale was the biggest money-making period of the entire year. Where it is exactly what it sounds like. We used to take things from the warehouse and sell them. We invite the general public to the warehouse, and you have to set up the warehouse so it's presentable to the public eye, and it actually looks sort of like a store. A store just with fucking filthy, filthy floors. This happened every year around, I believe, October, I want to say. And the setup for the warehouse sale took about a month. Yeah, I think it took about a month just to set everything up. And then once the warehouse sale was only 2 days, I believe, a month of setup for a 2-day sale. And when the sale was over, we had to put everything that wasn't sold back. Here I was. I planned on completely shitting on this place. I really did. I planned on shitting on the management, shitting on the supervisor, shitting on the poorly, presented work environment. I planned on just shitting on them. And I have many of story to shit on these folks with. But I don't think I will. I don't think I will. Because as much as I hated being there at the moment and how badly my body would feel afterwards, having to do all this manual labor, all this lifting, all this climbing, all this lugging around, all this pulling and pushing and cutting myself and being dirty, and I could walk into my job weighing 215 pounds and walk out weighing 210 pounds. Shit you not, I did it multiple times. So despite all of that, the reason I'm not gonna shit on them is because I kind of feel appreciative. It's a weird, very unique appreciation I have for that place and for the situation I'm in now, because it leads me to remember where I came from, and appreciate where I am now, where I'm not doing that shit. Like the biggest headache I might have now is that my fucking phone is ringing off the hook, and I don't have time to think. I'm too busy answering fucking phone calls. If that's my biggest headache, I'm doing pretty fucking good. I'm doing pretty fucking good. Because my old biggest headache used to be having to take 12 skids of fucking telescopes and magnets and heavy ass batteries and drag them down to my department where I was the only person there. And I used to have to break all that shit down, put it up in, all that shit I told you. That used to be my biggest headache. And I knew after that day, I would be done. I could do literally nothing else. Nothing else. I would be done. But now if my biggest headache is a bunch of phone calls, I'm not done. I just walk out the door, unwind, and I can do one of these motherfucking things and give you a podcast so you can listen to my lovely, lovely voice. Anyway, I know everybody out there has their own working hard experience, and everybody out there is working hard at their specific profession or whatever they're doing at the moment. Everybody has their own thing, right? I'm not trying to diminish anyone out there that is working hard. Like, you're legitimately working hard. Kudos to you, especially in times like these. Essential workers are needed. So everybody out there that grinds, fucking kudos to you, miss and sir. Continue to do that shit. Hard work pays off, man. It builds character, makes you appreciate shit in this journey that we call life. All right? And if you have to do it without, getting holes in your fucking shirt, even more kudos to you. You get to dress all nice and shit while I was dressed like a fucking transient for 4 years. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you enjoyed my dingy shirt and my dingy little story for you. All right? God bless. God bless you. Fuck you. Bye.